Greetings, saludos y bendiciones, mi gente. Queen Reverend Witchy here with Queen of Forces Healing Ministries. Ankh Uja Saneb, life, prosperity, and good health to one and all. Happy born day, Scorpios. Scorpio season is here. We are in the thick of it. And so here we are with our major arcana card for the current zodiac season. The death card is our Scorpio card in the major arcana. So just a bit about the death card. Behold a pale horse. Every time I see this death card, I'm always reminded of that book, seeing this white horse. So if you don't know that book, you might want to check it out. I think the author is William Cooper. I think, but Behold a Pale Horse. If you do an internet search for it, you'll see the white horse on the front of it. It's kind of like I think bluish background, whatever. Okay, so the death card. This is one of those tarot cards, and I'll say it's probably the number one on the list of unwanted tarot cards in a spread. And most people see this card, they are not happy to see it. Many people are afraid of it, but just like all of the rest of the cards, if it comes out, it's supposed to come out and there's a message. Most of the time, when I hear any other reader speak about this card, they may say, this is a card of transition. Do not be alarmed. It doesn't mean physical death or whatnot. And it's definitely a card of transition. Certainly so. Endings and new beginnings. Certainly so. But sometimes it is physical death. For me, personally, as a tarot healing specialist, when I get this card in a session for someone, I'll often ask for clarification and either pull another card or just go with my intuition, or the other cards are just gonna tell me and confirm. Usually when I get the card, it's physical death. It could have happened before the reading, but honestly, for me personally, it's usually forewarning. And a lot of times people are afraid of that, but one of the best things about tarot is that it gives us information to help us deal with life. Whether we like the information or not is really irrelevant. If you come for a reading, you are better off being open to whatever the messages are. So, yet and still, being afraid of it is not helpful. But as you see here on the card, it definitely can directly or obviously represent physical death. We see this skeletal figure here riding on this white horse, and he's walking or galloping over a body there. You see what looks like a grieving woman and child and a member of clergy, which would indicate a funeral. Now, still, the symbolism can definitely still indicate something has ended, a situation has ended, a major situation, or a major ending to a situation, because this again is the major arcana. These are the big themes in the Fool's Journey, okay, represented by the number 13, which adds up to a 4. There's a foundation here that may be wiped away. Off in the distance, you can still see the sun. because the sun always, quote unquote, rises. We see the sun again. Even when there's a dark day, we see the sun. For me, noticing all of the white and the pale blue, that to me indicates a lot of death. Although many of us indicate um, black with death, white is technically also considered a color that symbolizes death. Things have to end so that new things can begin, whether that be physically or symbolically. This is ancestor season. I consider October and November ancestor season. And when we think about the concept of physical death, definitely ancestral energy is there. Definitely, definitely, definitely. So do not be afraid. Behold, my children, do not be afraid of the death card. You can always ask for clarity if you don't feel you have it. But the good thing about it, when we are receiving this energy as predictive energy that is indicating a physical death, then that is helping us to remember that we need to take each moment in life as a beautiful thing, appreciate our lives and of the lives of those around us that we love and care for. Because physically, everything ends at some point, but yet we are still eternal beings. And the sun reminds us of that. I just wanted to also show you an example of the death card in a couple of other decks. My handy dandy and most favorite deck, Miss Cleo deck. So here we have Ampu, also known as Anubis, and someone bowing down by really, I guess in a sense, no choice of his own. But that day comes, and with this energy, Ma'a is still there. Justice is still there. The balancing of the scales, because your heart has to be balanced on the scales. And with the Hoodoo Tarot deck, I love this. I love this. It is called the Ancestors. Now, the Hoodoo Tarot deck is a beautiful deck, especially for this time of year. It's a deck that I do not use all the time. To me, especially for sessions I'm doing for other people, like my spirit guide, my spirit team, or the other persons that I'm reading for have to tell me to use that deck. That's like, I don't know, I guess probably my most sacred deck. And so I don't bring it out that often to use with other people. And even myself, I don't use it every day for myself either. But it's a very special, special deck. And I would encourage any person who is a hoodoo practitioner or tarot reader that also practices hoodoo or studies hoodoo, I would suggest you get that deck. It is amazing. With the Goddess Oracle card, we have Kali, which is equivalent to the Death card. And again, endings and new beginnings. And her message here, the old must be released so that the new can enter. So Kali is just like ancestral energy, present at physical birth and death, because again, just like the Ampu or Nubis energy, like all of these cards give the same message with a little different energy behind it. And so you interpret it as a reader, you know, however you need to for the person that you're working with. But life and death, the way we understand it here, is, you know, two sides of the same coin. It really is. As a soul is transitioning into the physical realm, I say that some things are quote unquote lost or suppressed so that we can move through our physical lives and do the things that we need to do, because we have to have that balance of spiritual and physical in this realm, versus as we are released from the physical realm and fully back to our whole divine spiritual selves, we release these physical bodies and then whew, we're completely free if our skills are balanced, that is. So Scorpios, the Scorpio energy is very intense. It's water energy, probably the most intense water energy there is. And my experience with Scorpionic energy is as such. Every person that I personally know that is a Scorpio has very, very intense energy. And most Scorpios I know too are just highly intuitive. They can be full of crap and be doing all kind of crazy stuff, but they also gonna know the crazy stuff that you're doing. So don't play them. Not operating in their shadow. Ooh wee! That is something. OMG. Mm, 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 mm. I don't even want to talk about that. But to all of my Scorpios, I hope you're celebrating yourselves, tapping into your intuition, allowing your intuition to guide you, being willing to release and let go of things that no longer serve you, and for all of us. This is a reminder for all of us in ancestor season to let go of what no longer serves us, to be reminded that as things transition, we need to do our best to let go so that when we are looking to balance our scales, it is much easier to do. Because if our heart is light, we're releasing, then our heart is light. So there's that. Ancestor energy, we give thanks for the divine energy of our benevolent ancestors, knowing that they walk with us, they guide us, they protect us. And we are being reminded, as I often say, you know, feed the ancestors what they want. This is a perfect time to reconnect with your ancestors, research your genealogy. If you feel inclined to um, create an altar for them, give them what they want. You know, I was just cooking smoked turkey necks and rice again not too long ago because that's what they wanted. Give them what they want. If you want them to give you what you want, okay. That's what I'll say about that. So we give thanks. We are so very, very grateful for the ancestral energies that love us, protect us, war for us in the spirit realm. So that's the a little bit about the death card. If you ever take a class with me, we'll get into these cards pretty deeply, in my opinion. But that's a little bit about it. Let go, When you see this card in a reading, again, just breathe if you feel yourself getting nervous about it and allow it to speak to you. Ask yourself, what is it that I need to release, if anything? If this is telling me that someone I know may physically pass, then how can I prepare for that? How can I emotionally, mentally prepare for that, and financially prepare for that? Whatever the way, be open to listen to the cards no matter what. So, again, we give thanks, and may the force of healing be with you today and always. Que la fuerza de la curación esté contigo para siempre. Ashe.